Welcome back. Vice President Kamala Harris did an interview with the local West Virginia TV station to make the pitch for the new COVID stimulus package. And moderate Democrat Senator Joe Manchin was not happy he didn't get a heads up about it. Take a look.
I saw it. I couldn't believe it. No one called me. We're going to try to find a bipartisan pathway forward. I think we need to, but we need to work together. That's not a way of working together, what was done.
Okay, so let me just point this out. Joe, she is the vice president. She does not work for you. She doesn't need your permission to go do this. And when you talk like that, it sounds a little bigoted, like you think you have the right to tell her when she can and cannot come someplace. So Republicans are offering less than a third of what President Biden requested. Less money for emergency employment benefits, smaller checks for individuals. So why would she need to come to you first, or would come to him first, Sonny, when she knows what she's supposed to be talking about?
Well, you just said it, Whoopi. She doesn't need his permission. As vice president of the United States, she's actually, sort of president of the Senate, right? She breaks ties in the Senate. And I'm sure she went and was interviewed at the behest of the president of the United States. I'm quite sure that she did not do that without the request of the president of the United States. And I'm pretty sure that Senator Manchin knows that. And so I was actually really almost offended that he sort of said that kind of thing. I found it to be pretty disrespectful. I was surprised.
And offensive. What'd you think, Joy?
Well, Joe Manchin is a Democrat, but he swings to the right. And at this moment in time, the Democrats need Joe Manchin more than Joe Manchin needs the Democrats, because he will always win in West Virginia, take middle-of-the-road positions. And he's got an ego problem, I'll grant you that. But the guy voted for impeachment. He voted for the ACA. He's on the Democratic team. So I don't think it's a great idea alienating Joe Manchin, no matter how big his ego is.
I'm sorry, so you think that she needed to speak to him before she went and gave this interview?
I don't know. I don't know what the protocol. Probably she not. But we're talking politics
she's the vice
here rather
president.
than. I get that, but we're talking about politics, and like I just said, the Democrats need Joe Manchin's vote. He has a lot of power right now in the Democratic Party. That's all I'm saying.
But
it's politics.
She is the vice president. She's the vice president. He works for her.
He has a vote. He has a vote. I get that.
Well, so does she.
He has a vote.
Megan, what do you think? Yeah.
I completely agree with Joy. I think there are protocols when you visit someone's home state. Yes, she is the vice president, but he's still representing West Virginia. And I was surprised that they didn't do something in a bipartisan fashion, simply because the Biden administration has presented itself as the unifying, quote, we're fighting for the soul of the country. And to me, the politics of this looks like you don't really care about having a moderate Democrat on your side. And as Joy said, he's a huge, important swing vote. He's not the only Joe in Washington, D.C. with veto power. And he oftentimes does vote with Republicans, and Democrats are going to need him when it comes to legislation. And I'm just surprised by it. And the political message I interpret it as, and clearly we're all seeing this through very different lenses, is that if the Biden administration doesn't care about a moderate Democrat, they're sure as hell not going to care about Republicans. And I do think right now, think of how powerful it would have been having arguably the most centrist Democrat, other than my own Senator Kristen Sinema, doing a press avail with a bunch of press people and West Virginians saying we're fighting for the soul of the country, and that includes people in West Virginia who they are going to need moving forward. So I was surprised, and I think just on top of everything else, as Joy said, it's just really stupid politics on behalf of Kamala's part.
Well, I think it's really disrespectful politics myself, because if you're going to come out and say, yeah, we're all seeing it differently, and that's the beauty of The View. We'll be right back.